does appear to be going. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Ooh, haha. Yay! Okay. I'm starting late, and I am aware that I'm starting late, and I apologize for that if you were late to the game. Okay. And let's see, just doing my normal check-ins. Hi, Jody, how are you? Okay, so I spelled that wrong. I did. I spelled it wrong. I cannot spell quarantine to save my life. For some reason, I always want to put an E where there's an A. Don't know why that is, but now it's a thing. Eternally, forever. Oops. Oh well, that's fine. Hi. So, if you are not on my Twitter, and also this is apparently now live streaming to my... I miss your face too! Heck yeah! That's super exciting, Jody. I'm very proud of you. So essentially, I'm streaming to my YouTube as well for the first time ever, because OBS Streamlabs updated their interface. Good for them. Also eating my dinner, because work went a little late. Okay, so, hi! Ooh, do I have... That's so interesting. Is my live chat pulling from... Is that pulling from YouTube? I think it might be. My dinner. It is! Oh my gosh! Okay, so this is interesting. I've got 2 conflicting live chats, and I'm sorry about that, but I've now got both of them. I'm looking at both. Hi! Hello YouTube, and hello Twitch. How are you guys? Yeah, I am aware it's not spelled correctly. I have never been able to spell quarantine correctly, and I don't know why, but I'll have to change that after this is over. Oh, interesting. Oh, my poor, you guys, it's so funny watching the live chat part, because it's fighting with itself right now, because it's like, but why? So, funny thing about Lore Olympus. I'm not sure when or if I'm going to do another one, to be completely honest, and that is completely understandable if you are not here to stay for that. It's starting to feel a little weird to do them, because now I've talked with Rachel enough that it just feels odd. I don't know. It's a thing, right? There's certain things I'm sure I'm going to want to talk about, but right now it just feels strange to... It feels strange to talk about them. Because now it's like my friends' work, and I don't know. And now that we've talked a little bit about behind the scenes stuff, it just feels... I don't know. I don't feel like I'm as unbiased anymore. And maybe that's okay, but maybe not. I don't know. No, it's not about saying something bad. It's about... I don't want it to... It's hard to seem objective when you know the creator. Does that make sense? No, I'm actually streaming on both right now, Imp. It's odd, because apparently OBS Streamlabs is now letting me do both, which I'm hoping is a wise thing. So for those of you who are familiar with my Twitch, I'm currently on Twitch and YouTube right now through my little streaming system. And I was supposed to do a... Oh, thank you, Sophia. You're so sweet. I do still want to do things that are like educational, and I've actually been... I'm sorry, I'm going on tangents. This is what it's like when I don't have a script. So now you get to see sort of how my brain works normally, and I apologize for that because it is sometimes a hot mess. My initial thought was the reason we are not gaming tonight is my GPU is dying. it's a very sad thing. The fan is gone. It's like 5 or 6 years old, so I understand that it was its time and I'm due for an update anyway, but exactly, Jody. It's the idea of when you know that there is yeah, it's just when you know like what the intent is and whatnot, and it's hard to come at it from that same sort of like consumer all we know. In fact, I realize I'm jumping around very much with my conversations, and I apologize about that. This is my ADD brain. Oh, hey, Jeffrey Lindsay. Welcome. We're just doing a little chit chat because I was initially going to game tonight, and the entire idea was, and yes, and I have both chats up. But the idea was we were going to do some gaming around the world because we're all kind of, especially if you're in the United States, you can't really go anywhere. So I was like, hey, let's go do some things and we'll go see the world through virtual eyes. And then my computer started crashing with even the lightest of games that I had played many times before. And I was like, what's going on? And I opened it up and I cleaned out some of the dust, and then I downloaded Tech Power Up GPU-Z per the recommendation of a friend of mine. If you don't have this little free app downloaded on your computer, highly recommend it because it shows you basically the diagnostics of your GPU, including the temperature. And I was like, oh wow, it's real overheating. And then I realized that the fan speed was 0. And I was like, oh no. So I opened it up while it was running, just so I could look like up and under, and sure enough, the fan is dead on my GPU, so it's overheating like mad. It's upsetting, but it is true. So that's where we are on that. And then I was gonna talk about something. This is why I should write post-it notes for everything. Because I get on tangents. Yeah, GPU's dying. And it's about time, so I actually did I did buy a new one today that should be here by next week. 'Cause Newegg, yay! And I hate making big purchases, especially when I'm not expecting to do them. I'm excited because it will be, it's a nice enough one that when I start replacing other things in my computer, or if I build myself a new one in the next few years, that GPU will come with me. Graphics card. It's your GPU is your video card or your graphics card. So that's been fun. Yes, darling.
You might want to up the brightness on your lamp.
On my lamp?
Yeah.
You just want to blind me, woman.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But I'm so white. Yeah. No, my fan, like, we were running it. I turned on a game, and it never once turned on. So, they say hi to you.
Hello, everyone.
Please come have some of this chickeny stuff I made.
I shall.
It's not just for me. I think I answered. I know. Over in my lovely YouTube people, Eclipsing and Sophia, you had questions about Lore Olympus stuff, and I think I answered that question. If not, feel free to rephrase it. I apologize that my brain just kind of jumps around so much sometimes that I lose track of where I am. But such is life. Ooh, andouille sausage and red beans. That sounds delicious. All right. So, I did have one idea. Since the initial plan was like, let's go into the world of, what is that? Like the virtual world. Oh yay, I did answer. Good for me. Da, 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 da. I do want to still, however, delve into that same sort of idea of things, if that is sort of helpful. And honestly, it was a sort of gateway. Lore Olympus was a nice little gateway of realizing, oh, I also would love to talk more about, like, my practice with witchcraft and, like, gods and goddesses. And I actually saw a note on Twitter because I was getting very frustrated with a show on Netflix. Because very often I have noticed that in media, we often have people approach. Oh my goodness. Yeah, thank you so much, Eclipsing. That's very sweet of you. They were talking about Lore Olympus videos being very helpful. I'm actually not stressed out. This is just how my brain works. I'm a little stressed that I ended up dumping like $450 on an expense that I wasn't expecting. But I need my computer to work, so there might be some ritual of that, and I do just have general anxiety. But for the most part, this is just kind of how my brain works when I'm talking in front of a lot of people. And I lost my brain again. He's a kitty. I was a bitey kitty. He's being a dick, isn't he?
You were talking about Lore Olympus and how you were wanting to share more of your practice.
Yes. Okay. Someone had brought up, because I was venting about a show on Netflix, where I have noticed a trend in a lot of popular media where non-Christian religions and mythologies are approached with very Christian values. And this is consistently a frustration for me. The particular show that was irritating me was Cursed, and I won't get too much into that. But they were sort of like talking about dark gods as if dark meant evil, and paganism deals a lot with oh, Swamp Witch, my love, my everything. Trust me, at some point we'll have a talk about Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which also upsets me because I know a practitioner was like consulted, and at the same time I'm like, stop. But it's been this consistent thing where I've noticed like they'll talk about like dark gods or evil, and I'm like, evil in itself is a very Christian concept. Like, especially with a lot of witchcraft, essentially the idea is, I'm gonna pull a bit from Shakespeare here, 'tis neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. Like, witchcraft is a tool, magic is a tool. Evil isn't really a noun, it describes, it's an adjective. Like, you can do evil things, but things aren't inherently evil, is sort of like the general consensus. And, oh gosh, you remember that horrible 2017, I think, Mummy? That also did that, where, I think it was it Set? I can't remember what god she was summoning, but, like, they were like, the evil god, and I'm like, no! And Egyptians of all people are not going to be like, yes, death is evil, because they had such reverence around the process of death, and death was about going into the next world. And yeah, the Tom Cruise Mummy, I am not honestly, like, it has obviously some inaccuracies, but I watched a thing about the Brendan Fraser Mummy, and it was surprisingly accurate in a lot of places. Apparently, I was like, oh, like they used actual Egyptian in certain places. I'm like, oh, well done. Yeah, and you're not wrong. When you read historical consultant, it's very much they're like ticking a box sometimes. And oh man, it's just a frustration that I consistently have of like, because there's so much, again, evil being such a very particular kind of ideals and like good versus evil, being very specifically kind of a Christian idea that was born from, and that kind of and then because it's so much more complicated than that, and that's actually what I love about a lot of other mythologies, is you look into things and like there's some more like, I mean, heck, look at Greek mythology, where you've got some people doing some gods doing horribly heinous things, and then in the next mythology you read, they did like the sweetest thing ever, and they're just weird and complicated and kind of like humanity turned up to 11. Like they don't have like Greek gods, just they don't have lukewarm feelings about anything. They're almost childlike in that regard. It's either like, I love you or I shall smite you from the planet. And who knows when. Oh, absolutely. Like, it's not, and that's not a blanket statement that Christianity.
The Greek gods were Twitter.
What?
The Greek gods were Twitter.
The Greek gods were Twitter, my love.
Ah.
I have zero issue with Christians themselves. I've met bad Christians. I've met bad pagans. I've met bad people, period. It's just a weird thing I've noticed, and I think the problem is, I think it's this idea of we grow up, especially in the US, with a lot of like ideas that are essentially like inherently Christian, or came from those roots because we were, I mean, look at our founding as a country, that we don't actually understand that like some mythologies that predated the organized religion of that don't involve those concepts, and it's really hard. Yeah, yeet. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Zeus was who, or Zeus is also, I'm gonna fuck that, and then he goes over, and then they're like, nah. And he's like, okay, well, what if I was a bird? No, actually, yeah, that's not that inaccurate. Sometimes both in the same day. Also, if it's very confusing for those of you on YouTube and very confusing for those of you on Twitch when I am addressing a comment from one of the others, please let me know. Maybe I need to read them out loud. This is new and different. This is my first time attempting both. Yeah, precisely. Terra Lucent said Zeus was horrible, but even he helped Psyche when she needed it. And it's one of those things where it's like they were very complicated. There was like various shades of gray regarding like morality. So yeah, it's a frustration. Eventually I will distill those thoughts down into something coherent. Oh, Doug Jones, Norse is fun. Norse mythology is just, it's so crazy and I love it. And it's just, like, oh my gosh, it makes me so happy. What? Oh yeah, yes, the untrimmed, made of untrimmed dead man's fingers. There we go. Goodness. Okay. Unfortunately, Jody, I think those are changing because you've got two conflicting... Let me see. I think it's changing because there's two conflicting things feeding into it. And that's why it's having a problem. Because I should have done this otherwise. So I should not have chosen to do one or the other. Or should have chosen to do one and not the other. But this is kind of cool, because now I get to, like, talk to both of you. I'm dual streaming Twitch and YouTube, because I was like, oh, it's now giving me an option to do this. We're going to... Bye, Jody! We're going to bounce over to... Where is it? We're going to bounce over to the live scene, actually. Hi! So we're not going to be doing any games, because we saw how terrible that happened. This is how digital gods are born. It's true. I'm omniscient on the internet. Oh no. I would be the god of thinly veiled sass? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway. So. Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that. Then I broke it. Then I broke everything. It's not like the CPU is fine. It's literally the fan on the video card. Like I've got a lot of these and otherwise. It's upsetting though, and oh, obligatory, if you would like to help me recoup some of those costs. I feel like nobody has extra cash these days. If you're on my Twitch, down below there's a little, I think it says open a portal, but it leads to the donate button. If you want to toss a coin to your bard. I don't know. Or, oh, your streamer. There you go. Toss a coin to your streamer. Oh, Valley of Plenty. Oh, gosh. So Eclipsing just brought up if I had heard about the baby witches hexing the moon, the fae, and the underworld. I have. I did hear about that. I'm not sure how serious it was. To be honest, like, it sounded like when someone relayed it to me that someone just said it offhandedly in a TikTok. I didn't actually take it seriously. Which, you know what? If it is, have fun with that. You know what? I don't have to, here's the thing. I don't have to say anything about you if you're going to say, I'm gonna hex the fae. They will take care of that for me. I don't have, at that point it's have fun, I guess, with the rest of your life.
It's above your pay grade.
It is very much above my pay grade to care about that. What is my Twitch? My Twitch is, hang on, I think I can type this in. Let's see if it lets me. And normally we do game, but until it arrives sometime next week, I can't do that. However, I did, if this interests you, since we're kind of talking about like gods and stuff and mythology, I know that there is some 3D tours of Egyptian tombs, so that sounds kind of cool. I don't know I don't know why you'd want to hex anyone, in my opinion. If I'm completely honest, I just don't understand it. I've had people do me quite wrong in the past. But I just didn't seem worth the backlash from it. The closest I have come to is what is called a karmic curse. And, ooh, Rainbow Bagel. Heck yeah, Fizzy Dizzy Studios. That sounds amazing. Karmic curse were essentially, the general idea behind a karmic curse is you go and you're like, hey, I'm going to take your karma and I'm going to take it up to 11. So if you're an asshole, that's going to come back to you even more so than it normally would. But if you're a good person, then you're going to get, like, more good things back to you. Oh, what is the... Big Fae energy. I like that. Ooh! Dazzles! Dazzles is amazing! Thank you! Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's fantastic. Healing is the way to go. Oh my goodness. R2, thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thank you so much. That was epic, like the... I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I need to change the music on those, because I really like the chalkboard. I like the chalkboard aesthetic, but that noise is just so loud. Oh, don't feel bad. I appreciate you for being here, and I don't expect anyone. What free use can you use that you'll like? There's a lot. I do have a subscription to Epidemic Sound, and they've got some sounds I can probably use. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Eclipsing, I think it's one of those things that, like, when it comes to karma, in my opinion, I think the problem, I personally believe in it. But essentially, I think one of the things to remember is that it's not going to be working on your schedule, if that makes sense. Like, I think very often we just expect it, like, oh, it's now going to work, like, instantly, right? Imp in my head. I am sending you so much good thoughts for car maintenance, because that's another thing I eventually need to do. The Cardis. But thankfully, the Cardis is trucking along, and I don't necessarily have to replace her quite as quickly as I do my GPU. Let's go into capture. We're gonna go check out this tomb together. Ooh, hey! No, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. But damn! Okay. Hello. Alright. Okay. So here we are. We're going to go check out the tomb. That's cool. Oh, that's so cool. Cool. Will this give me info? Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Karzan, my love, dear, sweet. Did you mean to do that much? Because if not, I will refund it to you. I'm not kidding. Because... Oh my gosh, thank you. Do you have a copy of... I think it's called Dead Stranding? Because I apparently get a free copy with my... with my, GPU. If you want it, it's yours. Or if you're just gonna hide and not make yourself known in the comments. I am very shook. You did... Thank you. Oh my gosh. Like, that just... Thank you. Like... Thank you for the follow! No, I can't tell you how much that means to me, because I've been saving up for, to replace my dying car, actually, and knowing that died, I was like, okay, well, that puts me off, like, at least a few more months, and that just put me back on schedule, hopefully, and I didn't. That means I can pay off my credit card, like, immediately, so thank you. Thank you. Okay, whew. Having a moment of being full of gratitude. Please send me a message if there's anything I could do for you. Always, actually, you guys, if there's something you need, like, that I can be of help with, I'm here as much as I can be. Right, okay, let's look at the tomb. Yeah, okay. Ooh, how do you pronounce this? How do you pronounce her name? That is a good question. Let's look up this up. Oops. I didn't want to do that over there. because this looking at me Google how to pronounce her name, not super exciting. R2, you're amazing. I hope you've been okay. Like, R2S11, if you're in YouTube and you can't see their comments, has been with me for a very long time. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of familiar names tonight, and I'm just very happy about that, actually. It's been a long time, and I know I haven't been streaming as much, and this quarantine, you guys, it's been, how's everyone's mental health doing during this quarantine and the lockdown and the pandemic? Because I've been struggling real hard, and that's not even counting, like, the personal hardship. EDNHFJ. Good to know. I'm a word slinger is alive. Am I? I don't know. I also feel better than I did in the beginning. It's a mutual feeling. Oh, Eclipsing. Eclipsing's not doing the greatest. How can I help you? How can we make this a little bit better? I did have, hopefully it'll be ready for Monday. I'm writing a script. A friend of mine reached out specifically about dealing with anxiety because their anxiety's just like gone through the roof, especially during the pandemic, and they knew I had some tricks in which to deal with it. And so in writing this email out to them, I realized, like, oh, this might actually be useful for other people as well. So I'm making a script around it so that I can present that hopefully for my Monday upload. I know it's been like a month since I've done a video, but I'm starting to find my way again and feel ready to be productive. One of the things that Angelique and I have been talking about, that is something I need to discuss with a therapist, is my ADD. And one thing that, or maybe not even a therapist, possibly a psychiatrist, but one problem with that is you get in these cycles where you're unproductive. So you want to do things. And so you're like, I will do all the things. And then, of course, you can't do all the things. So you get overwhelmed, and then you get stressed. And I also have anxiety. So then the anxiety kind of crumples on top of me. And then I end up doing nothing. Or like I do like a big spurt of a lot of things, and then I burn out real quickly. And oh man, that's just, it is a bad cycle. So we are breaking the cycle. Aw, Eclipsing, you are so sweet and lovely. Hi, Ellen. Looking for a therapist during this time is a strange beast. Like, I sympathize entirely. Aw, Fizzy Dizzy, what's going on with you? How can we make things, how can we help? How can we make things better? As I'm looking up, if you hear...
Mérezanque.
Mérezanque. Mérezanque, that's very French sounding. Is that correct? Or is it just how the French pronounce it? Here we go.
Mérezanque 3.
Mérezanque.
Mérezanque 3.
I mean, it would be the third, but... Okay. Mérezanque. Mérezanque. As computer generated as that voice is. I think we will, and I think we'll work together on it, and we're gonna be awesome. We're gonna break the cycle of I mean, hey, I'm doing something small right now. I've set up, I'm gonna try to do every Thursday, and if I don't have my video card by next Thursday, I was thinking maybe we could do something similar like this, and maybe I'll do some makeup with it, like for character makeup, and we can talk about characters. Oh, Sophia, bless. Sophia's been nervous about her sorry, I'm hoping you use she, her, because I just accidentally said her, because of your screen name, but I don't want to misgender anyone, because of her grandmother and missing all their friends. Yeah, what's wrong with your grandma? If you feel like sharing, and if there's anything we can do, let us know. Ooh. Okay, for some reason the Twitch chat is talking about pie, and it's making me real crave pie. I don't know how this got into a pie conversation, but I'm here for it. Strawberry rhubarb or lemon meringue? Although I'm not that big on meringue. I think it's just the lemon curd, you guys. Oh, bless. Memory loss is... It's such a terror. Like, it's something that I've always been scared of, and now that my dad's had, Oh, this is so cool! Okay, I was hoping it had information. Sorry. Memory loss, like, now my dad has FTD, and, like, watching, like... I think your brain shutting down is one of the scariest things. It's... I wish I could hug you, because it is truly just, like, heart-wrenching. And I hope you know that you were loved, and even while her memory goes, that... I mean, she still loves you, sweetheart. And, like... Heads forget, but hearts remember, if that makes sense. I know that's real cheesy and cliche, but... I very much feel like it's cliche because it's true. Anyway, let's look at some tombs. Guys, we're like tomb raiding. I also got this idea because I kind of wanted to play Tomb Raider because I never actually finished it when it first came out. And I was like, oh, she's outside and doing all this stuff. Why not? When you're stranded inside, why not play a game where you're stranded in the wilderness? Excuse me. The Western Chamber of Merasank, I think is how she said it. Oh, yay! I hope your con does not get canceled because you're going to be amazing. And heck yeah! Sophia, please take photos of you as Hades no matter what. I want to see it. Please. Thank you. Bring in the cheesiness. I'm all about the cheese. The Western Chamber of Merasank's tomb was the main area of Merasank's funerary cult, where select priests could come to present food and drink, offering her spirit before yet another false door. Oh, another false door. Oh, because this... Oh, before this... It's not a real door. That's what they mean. Okay. I thought, like... Haha! Sneak! Hi! Oh, yay! I'm gonna butcher your name, and I'm sorry. Garinara1. I stopped in to say that they love Alice, which is my book, if you're not familiar. And I'm very, very excited. Oh my goodness, that is the highest compliment. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Heck, please do some Hecate cosplay. You would be fabulous. Ah! Okay. Ooh, check that out. Okay. So this is what they think this essentially looked like back in the day. Oh, that's so cool. I love this sort of stuff. Oh, that's so cool. The emphasis on Merasank's position among her female relatives continues from the Northern Chamber's rock-cut statues to the pair of female figures seen here carved into the rock of the Western Chamber. The statues are depicted embracing and holding hands to indicate maternal love and affection because the West is the land of the dead. Oh, cool! Oh, man. I'm not gonna lie. One day to, like, actually be in a place like this... Yeah, I mean, it's not great. It's not a great rendering. Edie, it is not. But it still makes me very happy. Oh, man. What is this? Oh, there's the false door. Okay. At certain times of the day, the sun would fall directly in the window in the east wall of the chapel until the false door offering niche above the burial shaft. This was most likely no accident. No, that would make sense. Oh, it's so good. Okay. Do we go down? Or do we go back to the main chamber to look at this? Because I guess we didn't really look at it. Oh! Oh my goodness! Thank you, Johnny Holick! I feel like this. I wanna ask what you guys want in return or something. I'm sorry, it's so loud. Okay, I'm seeing going down. Doug Jones, thank you so much. You were so sweet. Doug Jones read my book and also enjoyed it. For those of you on Twitch who can't see the two, I'm realizing that's probably causing problems for folks, and I am sorry about that. I wonder about, like, I love the sound, it means loud happiness. Accept our support! I love you guys so much. Okay, I saw a vote for down, so we going down. Okay.
What's loud? AC?
Oh, no, baby, it's... Well, hey.
Stop, you're with a brand. Do I need to turn off the AC?
No, it's my donation sound.
Oh.
My alert sound it's very loud.
Okay.
Am I yelling timber? Aggressively supportive. You should look at this really hot lady.
Nah.
I'm gonna turn the camera if you don't come over here.
But I don't have makeup on.
It's okay, you're hot. You sexy.
I'm part of a photo shoot.
Look at how dapper this bitch is.
I'm doing a photo shoot. I'm doing costume approvals.
Okay, now calm down. Hi.
Wait, I have jig shoes
You
on.
do have jig shoes. She's very tappy right now.
So,
Hi, Dapper Angelique. That's just redundant. And Woo! There was a ghost. They caught a ghost on camera. Oh yeah, that's what the sound is. She's wearing basically Scottish tap shoes?
They are, yeah, they're Scottish.
Because they're for Highland, right? They're not...
Yeah, they're Highland heels meant to make fun of the Irish.
Highland heels meant to make fun of the Irish. There you go. It's the sound of her dapperness entering. I love that. Right? Sophia, it upsets me on a daily basis. Like, she just enters the room and she's adorable and dapper and attractive, and it's upsetting. Okay, Fizzy, we'll talk to you later. Please have a better time. I know you're having a rough go, and you're amazing, and I hope you know you're loved. These are some intense stairs. I don't want to walk back up these.
Aha!
Woohoo! Hello. Tell me, what is this? Ooh, we're in the burial chamber. For Egyptians, every day is leg day. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. Oh, I love it. Oh, you guys are the sweetest beings. I love you so much. Okay, directly beneath the prominent false door in the western chamber of Marasonk's tomb is the burial shaft and chamber over 5 meters below the upper level. Marasonk's great granite sarcophagus remains here. This underground room would have been filled with the sorts of luxurious and costly items that appear painted on the walls in her chapel above. Okay, so we'll have to look at the chapel later. I don't know if you guys care even remotely about the tomb raiding part, but this is very exciting to me. Someone has stolen! Someone has stolen! The sarcophagi! Probably, the Smithsonian, who I believe this is through. Jacques! Hi, Benjamin! It belongs in a museum! So do you! Pharaohs are gonna smite them, though. I love, it's very interesting. Okay, so this is, look at this, like, early 2000s computer generated that you would have seen in like a game, giving me some like Dagger of Amon-Ra sort of vibes. I know that was older than the 2000s, but it just makes me happy. I find it fascinating how like I think about getting those. They probably lifted it out because there is a hole, so they probably like wrapped like things around it and just lifted it out. But I love. Wait, why is there? Do you see this? There is another little. This right here. I don't know if you can tell on your screens, but that's another little clicker. So whoever made this took a picture, like a screenshot, while their mouse pointer was still on the screen. Oops. Okay. Oh, I wonder if that means they didn't actually bother fully rendering it. Like, they didn't actually take a screenshot in the program and rendered it. They probably just took, like, a screenshot of the rendering program. Oh my god, I love that. That's great. Ba-doop. Ah, it is the pointer of Ra! I love it. I love it. I must say, I do love all of the legends regarding, like, oh, the curse of this guy, and how so much of it ended up being because, like, you weren't cursed if you entered, but there were certain things they used that over time, when they decomposed, became noxious and poisonous. So people weren't really, like, dying from a curse from going into the tomb, but because essentially the tomb had kind of been turned into, like, this big, giant booby trap, even more so than they actually intended. The science. It makes me so happy. Oh, this is so soft. I got this hoodie, one, because I wanted a new hoodie. Because a lot of mine are dying. But I also got it because I've started creating my anxiety as a demon personification on TikTok. And I'm like, oh, I need to give her something cozy, but that's like invokes like that, like, yeah. Sarcophagus. Marisonk's mother gifted her a black stone sarcophagus, which she originally had made for herself and inscribed with her own name and titles. She then had Marisonk's name inscribed on it so that it would hold the wooden coffin in which Marisonk was buried to protect her body through the ages. Oh, I'm actually not sure how Marisonk died. That makes it sound like she died before her mother. I was going to say her mother gave her a coffin. That seems, what kind of relationship did she have with her mother? After several centuries of worship and use, Queen Marisonk's tomb was lost to the sands of time to be discovered 4,000 years later by archaeologist George Andrew Reisner of the Harvard University and Museum of Fine Arts joint excavation. Neat. Archaeologist was definitely on my list of things I kind of wanted to be when I grew up as a kid, and if I'm completely honest, still. Right? That sounds definitely like a super side-eyed gift you'd get from an angry mother-in-law. Oh no! R2, do you have a angry mother-in-law? What did I think of the season 1 finale of Lore Olympus? I honestly, I wanted a bit more. I get why it's done the way it was done. I do. But I was a little just kind of like, but, and I'm hoping we'll get more information, come next season, of just, because it wasn't entirely clear to me why what happened. It escalated very quickly. And then there was a lot of, like, because there was so much in the buildup of, like, the audience, like characters knowing something the audience didn't know for a very long time, and it was kind of like being dangled in our faces, and so I got a little frustrated with that. But I want to know more. And it's a personal opinion. I think, because I look at webcomics and I look at them a lot like shows, like TV shows, and I know it's probably a very different beast, but because it feels that way, like you want to look at it in that same sort of format. And there would be some episodes where like we'd build some tension but nothing would really happen. And that's why for a long time I was like, I don't have anything I can really add to this. For certain things, like technically things have happened but not really in a way that we could talk about them. So like you could go in Middle Earth, you can go to Deep Whelm. I think that's called Whelm's Deep, Imp. But yeah, like I enjoyed it, but I do want more, because I feel like there's a lot. I feel like it didn't tell me everything I thought it should, and maybe that's just because it's not telling us that right now, because there was a lot of build-up, and it felt like the build-up almost went. It felt like the build was bigger than what we ended up getting. Because while we saw what happened, I feel like I still didn't get enough explanation for why, I guess, if that makes sense. It just sort of was like, oh, that escalated very quickly. And again, it's one of those things that for personal preference, I personally, I know, I'm really excited for that. And I think it's going to be really good, actually, to help sort of streamline some of those moments as well. Because out of personal preference, I think there's a danger in having something constantly alluded to so blatantly to your audience, but never giving them that information. Because we knew, gosh, from like half a season ago, maybe more, that she'd done something nefarious or bad, and then we just kept saying like other people find stuff out, and then she didn't know that they knew, and we didn't know anything, and then there's just like, I don't know, you almost start to lose. I feel like you run a risk of losing the trust of your audience when you prolong a moment like that for too long, if that makes sense. And that's a personal opinion. But yeah, and it does sort of feel like it undercuts the wow moment, because there's been so much that nothing can really match that feeling. Like, even if it was, it's like when like your friends really hype up a movie, and even if the movie's really amazing, if they hype it too much, it will never, you know what I mean? Like, it never quite gets there for you. Anyway, but I'm very excited to see where it goes, and I'm very excited to see it get adaptations. And I think that is one thing that people definitely need to prepare themselves for, is that more likely than not, whatever it becomes as a show, it will be an adaptation, more likely than not. And I think so much often people be like, well, this isn't quite like what the book was or the comic was or whatnot, and no, it shouldn't be, because it's an adaptation. Like, and I as someone who really likes to work in adaptations, I think the key to a really good one is you take those core elements of what really made it what it was, and it's kind of up to the person adapting it to figure out what those core elements are. For instance, Alice in Wonderland, for some people it's just the names, it's the character archetypes-ish, sort of. They're not even really character archetypes. For some people it's the aesthetic. For me, it was what it made me feel as a child. And so my adaptation, because for me, Alice in Wonderland, reading that as a child was sort of like a love letter from an adult telling me that it was okay that the adult world seemed crazy and strange and stupid and didn't make a lot of sense, because that's how it was. It was crazy and stupid and didn't make a lot of sense, and that I wouldn't be alone in that. And when I wrote Alice, the general idea was, okay, I want something that I was going to write something that sort of took that idea and put it in a context that would be relevant to me as a young adult, or relevant to someone as a young adult. And when I first started writing Alice, I had just lost my brother to suicide, and that was that was kind of like me working through my thoughts on depression and anxiety and going, okay, what would I tell someone going through this in a similar way? And so taking those moments and building them into something that had that same sort of meaning to me, but putting it in a setting that would be fitting for someone who was an early, like a young adult who had just lost someone very special to them. And that was my really roundabout way of like trying to explain why an adaptation, like what makes a good adaptation. And it's not like point for point plot points. We actually were just watching Stardust today, and I love the book. I also really love the movie. And like understanding like, okay, well, this is why this was streamlined, this is why this was cut, this is why this was made more simple, because essentially they took one very particular theme, which was essentially Tristan growing from a boy into a man, and like that coming of age and really like understanding who he was as a person. And so other things had to be trimmed and other things had to be changed and sort of simplified to really underline that journey. I think actually, Sophia, this will be automatically uploaded as a video to YouTube. I could be wrong. Oh, Eclipsing, are you saying Frozen 2 was overhyped? Yeah, you're probably right. I still loved it. But damn, they should have just not been a coward and just fully embraced the gay with Elsa. But that's just me. It's fine. I'm fine. It was not fine. The music's real good. I love it. I love the music. I do enjoy the movie. Always embrace the gay. I can't. She's in the other room. No. Okay. This is a false door carved into the stone wall of the tomb. Okay, so it's another false door. But this one doesn't have the light effect, and I think it's because it's not the center one. Ooh. Marisonk's steward. I'm gonna butcher this, and I'm so sorry. Ooh, I like this. Look, you can learn more about all of these people. Kamintu was an overseer of priests like her father. He would have been in charge of the offerings placed in her tomb. I want to learn more about her. Meet the artist. While so many thousands of Egyptian craftsmen went nameless, Marisonk's tomb actually includes the names of 2 Egyptian artists on the south and east walls. Here, the painter Rahe colors a standing female statue. That's so cool! Watch Marisonk give a tour of her tomb. Guys. Do we want to go see, like, the dead queen, probably in her very 2000s 3D animation? I kind of do. Let's go. You have your own version? What do you mean? Oh no! Harvard? This is bullshit. I want the home tour of Marisonk. Boo. 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 It was vital to Marisonk that her tomb be provided with all the different types of statuary clothing, furniture, and other goods, so she might need it in the next world. All of these things are depicted on her chapel walls, so that she and her surviving family could be certain that she was well supplied forever. That's so cool. Oh, here we go. All right. At least we've got this. I love that she gets a full dress, but he just gets a loincloth. Oh, he's probably a servant. That's probably why. Oh, look! There it is again. Aw, everyone say hi to our favorite little pointer. I couldn't do actual Tomb Raider today, so we're just raiding a tomb. Or going to a tomb. Because the GPU? Yeah, I've said it too many times. We should name the pointer. Okay. I am ready to hear suggestions for the names. My own contribution shall be Poindexter. It's dumb. How dare you? You're my wife. Oh, speaking of, October 23rd, I will provide a link eventually. We're probably going to do it here, though. But on October 23rd, Angelique and I are getting married. And obviously, it's going to be a lot different because we're in the middle of a pandemic. But we are going to have Sydney Pointeré. I like it. I like it. Ha! Ha! Someone upvoted my Poindexter. My point being is we're hopefully going to be live streaming it for all our friends and family, and that includes you lovely, amazing people. So I'll have more info as we get closer, but if you would like to come to our very small outdoor wedding, you will be able to. It's going to be in like the yard of our friends, and it won't probably be very long, but yay. Oh, meet the artists. While so many thousands of Egyptian craftsmen went nameless, Marisonk's tomb actually includes the names of two ancient Egyptian artists on the south and east walls. To the left, the painter Rahé colors a standing female statue, while on the right, the sculptor Inkef, I don't know my Egyptian pronunciation, worth beans, works on a seated one. Oh, that must be the door to the exit. Oh. Photograph from the original. Ooh! Photograph from the original excavations. Oh, wow. Figure a view of cone of sand and debris around the outer doorway as found looking south. Wow. 1927. And this was another. Okay, let's see if this one works. No! They do not want us to watch this dead queen show us her crib. I'm upset. I has an upset. Offering bearers. I read that as offering bears. And I was just like, would you like a bear? I don't know if they took them down. It says video unavailable, which makes me think they privated them, which I don't understand why. Especially because I think this originally became free at the start of the quarantine, so I don't know. Oh! Was there another Mr. Pointy? I missed him. There was! Ah, good eye, Doug Jones. Good eye. Sophia, that sounds freaking awesome. Private or region locked? Well, it's from Harvard, so it's probably not region locked. but I'm not sure. Before Merisonk and her mother, to the left, must be over there. Offering bearers carry baskets on their heads of bread, fruit, and meat, while others trap birds and herd animals which will become part of the funerary feast and tomb offerings. Man, it would suck to be an animal that was, like, buried alive. I like that. Swamp Witch suggested the cur, sir. Like, someone who is a cur, comma, sir. Sir cur? I don't know. I don't know. I just only have a cursory knowledge of the language. Sorry. I apologize. Ooh, what's that? This is a window. This window shed light to the false door across Merisonk's tomb that you can see facing it. There would have been wooden doors in the threshold between the window and false door that worshippers could have opened for ceremonies or other purposes so that light would fall directly in the central column on the false door. Yep, right in there. Ooh! Ah, there we go. Reconstruction with Merisonk. Okay, so this is supposed to be her. If this is supposed to be her, it's extra weird to see her by her sarcophagus. Yeah, it's just silly, right? It's silly at this point. Like, I thought it was an oops, but now I think they just didn't care anymore. These colors. It's so cool. Merisonk and Hedephirs. Queen Merisonk and her mother, Queen Hedespheres II, appear with Merisonk's children as well as an image of her father and Hedesphere's husband, Kawab, who is similarly depicted on the adverse wall. For more about Merisonk and images of her mother, visit... Kind of do. I want to learn more about Merisonk. Ooh, cool. Okay, so this is in Giza, which I know we saw. Okay, Merisonk III. Okay. Owner of this. Granddaughter of King Khufu. Her unique underground chapel preserves beautifully carved and painted scenes of the queen and her royal family, as well as servants, artisans, and funerary priests. The scenes also depict a sort of rich burial goods that would have been placed in Merisonk's tomb. Okay, this we know. Tell me about who she was when she was alive. Apparently that's too much to ask. You don't get to know who she was when she was alive. But I want to. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. Her parents were brother and sister. She married Pharaoh Khafra of the 4th dynasty of Egypt and bore him 4 sons, as well as a daughter. She held the royal titles of King's Daughter and King's Wife, Great of Scepter. When she died sometime shortly after the reign of Khafra, Merisonk was buried in an extensively decorated tomb at Giza, along with a rock-cut chapel. Inscriptions of the tomb provide both time of her death and the date of her funeral, which followed some 272 days after her death. Wow. Okay. So she died, and then almost a full year later. Hi, King Karu. Keoru? I'm sorry. Words. Huh. So she died, and then almost a full year later, she was finally buried. All right. She died during the first regnal year of an unnamed king, possibly Pharaoh Menkaure, which was not one of her sons. Interesting. This tomb was originally planned for her mother, Hedephirs II. Oh, interesting. But she instead donated it for her daughter's use, which suggested that Marisonk's death was sudden and unexpected. Hedifears also provided her daughter with a black granite sarcophagus decorated with palace facades for Marisonk's burial. Oh, that's so sad. Her sarcophagus and skeleton are today located in the Cairo Museum. The latter reveals that she was 1.5 meters, so 5'1". Hey, yay, short girls! And between 50 to 55 years at her death. That's actually quite impressive, and her mother was still alive. An anthropological study suggested that she might have suffered from bilateral silent sinus syndrome. What is that? Hi, welcome to a curiosity stream where we raid tombs and we raid the internet for answers. The tomb also contained a set of earliest known canopic jars, a limestone statue depicting Queen Hephaestus embracing her daughter, Hedifears embracing her late daughter, Marisonk, was found in her tomb and today is located in the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. Cool. Okay, I just want to look up what bilateral silent sinus syndrome is. They were giant! Today they were like 6 feet. You are not wrong, Imp.
Is Imp getting in your head again?
Always. I mean, they probably waited so long because they were finishing the tomb. Oh, thank you. Swamp Witch, got to it. Silent sinus syndrome is a spontaneous asymptomatic collapse of the maxillary sinus and orbital floor associated with negative sinus pressures. That sounds awful. Whew. That just sounds... So it's just basically like... super sneaky... Oh, that just sounds really not fun. Let's continue in the tomb. I'm actually really enjoying this, you guys. Thank you for indulging me. This is a lot of fun. Ooh. There's Mr. Pointy. Wow. This is really cool. I would have been perfectly average in those times at 5-0.
Baby, you're more than average now.
I love you. Queen Marisonk and her mother, Queen Hedifears. Oh, okay. And her mother appear with Marisonk's children as well as an image of her father. Okay, but who is who? These are probably her children? Is she taller than her mother, or is that her? I don't know. I don't understand the height going on right now. Like, is that supposed to be her father? Because if that's so, why is her father so short? I don't understand. More pointy business. Her mother sailing on the Nile. This wall depicts in a scene sailing on the Nile River, picking papyrus plants to offer to the great goddess Hathor. Ah, okay. So maybe I misread this. Oh, on the other, okay, cool. So this is her mom and her kids. Her mom and her kids. Okay. That makes more sense. What are proportions? I don't know. They don't know either. Okay. The king's eldest son of his body and chief lector priest is the largest painted figure in the tomb as is befitted a royal prince. He stands dressed in a priestly white sash. Learn. Okay. All right. Well. Rock-cut statues. In the northern chamber of the offering chapel is a row of 10 statues cut in the living rock of the wall, an uncommon way of decorating tombs at Giza. All of these statues represent women, which is uncommon in the male-dominated society of Egypt. Although they are not labeled, they clearly serve to emphasize Mirasank's position among her queenly relatives. Well, these bitches, she clearly had very poor opinions. Just smash their faces in. No. It's so amazing that, like, any of these remain preserved. What is this? Okay, first of all, what is this gap? Did we just put them to, like, did we not fully measure? And then over here, what's happening with this arm? This is a very long arm. Like, what's going on? What's going on, Mr. Pointy? Like, these two just, they refuse, they're not talking. They had a fight right before the sculpture was taken. And then this arm, like, this lady's like, I want us to be friends. I don't understand. I gotta see what this actually looks like. But no, it's not wrong, though. Look at this. They got disarmed. I appreciate your puns. Puns are always welcome here. All right, I think we have seen all of Mirasank's tomb. Do we want to do another one? Or do we want to do something else? Huh?
Could I borrow you for 2 minutes when you have a breaking point?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can right now. Give me 2 minutes. I have posed a question to you. Oh, bye, Des.
Des? Des and Phoebe?
Yeah.
Des! You're amazing!
All right. So up for suggestions. I'll be right back. An Egyptian Kiri trying to pull. Are you suggesting I'm that sure? Never mind. I shall return. I shall take suggestions in the comments. Thank you. I forgot to unmute myself. What I had said, because Doug Jones pointed out I was shorter than him, I said, well, I'm bigger on the inside. Meh. I cast silence. Okay. It sounds like we are going to do more tomb raiding. I'm here for it. Let's do this. I'm intrigued by the Red Monastery. I think we'll go there. Ooh! Oh, yes, yes. All right. He was enjoying his box. And asked if Calcifer was enjoying his new box. He was, and then we put it in recycling. Actually, he's kind of terrorizing Angelique. Let's go get the tiny little boy.
Do you want to say hi to the internet? Do you want to say hi to the internet?
Or you want to just climb on my shoulder? Oh, you don't like the light. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. Okay, that's an option, I guess. This is an option. Decisions were made. You know, he very much looks like those creatures. He still kind of does. I almost... What are you doing? I almost wanted to name him Gigi. And I think for Halloween we are going to get him a... Oh, I'm sorry, baby. It's too bright. I know. Okay, how about I turn it off? How about I turn the light off? I'll turn the light off, okay? I'll turn the light off.
He doesn't like it. It's too bright. It's too bright for the Calcifer. Okay. See? Is that okay? Is that better? Is that better? My poor little Breen? Yeah. Here.
Whoa.
Yeah. There you go.
For Halloween we're gonna get him a little red bow tie so he can be Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service. Okay.
Do you want to go raid some tombs?
Okay. Do you want to inexplicably hang out on my shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. He does sometimes like to hang out here. Oh. But Mommy's in the other room.
Okay, little bean, okay.
I feel like sometimes he can tell when a camera's on him because he'll move. Like, he'll be like, no! He doesn't want to. Oh, I'm such a fan of Studio Ghibli. I love Studio Ghibli. I can't... Oh, but now you've realized I've got chicken. Oh! Speaking of, we do move the kitty tower around the apartment a lot. I just realized. I apologize. Bear with me. Someone didn't get dinner. Oh, wait. Baby?
Yes, madam.
You didn't feed him dinner, right? Okay.
I can though.
Actually, if you wouldn't mind.
I will do so. I love it.
I just had that realization of... Oh, but I can move his kitty tower, actually. In case he wants to hang out. We have hardwood floors, and this thing is carpeted, so it slides on them pretty easily. Ah, good omens. Is it... something happened to the stream? Are we good? Seeing some comments? Okay. Oh, yes. Is there... you let me read info? No! Let me read it! Okay, I'm gonna get very close to maybe. The Red Monastery Church Sanctuary was painted 4 times in the late 5th and 6th centuries when Egypt was part of the Byzantine Empire. The techniques used were both... Hi. Oh, Alexandra Marie! Oh, thank you! Earlier in this stream, I was very hectic and crazy, and I'm sure my voice was not soothing at the time, but I'm very happy to know it normally is. Well, reload screen. Oh, no! Are you guys getting black screens? Are you fine? Over on Twitch? Oh, baby, you can... it's fine. You can go tap, tap, tap. She's trying to be very sneaky.
I'm trying to be courteous. There's a difference.
Okay. I don't know why they didn't let that be readable. I can't read that anymore. Painting on dry plaster and pigments in a wax binder. Squinting desperately, trying to read this. Oh, wow. This architecture is gorgeous. Well, if you're not going to tell me about the Red Monastery, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to read it to y'all. In Sohag, Egypt. The Red Monastery is a Coptic Orthodox monastery named after an Egyptian saint called Pishay, who is not confused with the famous Saint Pishoy. I apologize, I don't have time to look up pronunciations, and as I have stated earlier in this stream, I am not super great when it comes to innately knowing Egyptian pronunciation. French, pretty decent. A lot of Scandinavian pronunciations, pretty okay. It is located in the upper Egyptian city of Sohag, and about 2.5 miles northwest of the White Monastery. The name of the monastery is derived from the color of the construction material of its outside walls, consisting of red brick. These walls are considerably thicker at the base than at the top, and just like the walls of ancient Egyptian temples, they are surrounded by Cavetto moldings. The Red Monastery is architecturally similar to the White Monastery. The history of the foundation is not known and is thought to have been built at the 4th century AD by an Egyptian saint called Pishay. The saint was a contemporary of Saint Pigol, the founder of the... Okay, but tell me more about, like... I don't care about the distance. This is just a repeat of what was in the summary. Come on. Wikipedia, you are failing me. It's just talking about the architecture. Tell me about what it was used for, like, why it was built. Aw, yay, chill people hangouts. You know, it's cool that we have this, but wow, we don't have a lot of information on these. Yeah, well, the 15th century Arab historian Al-Makrizi names the monastery, he provides none of its history. The probable reason is that it was closely related to the White Monastery at the time. Dominique Vivant Denon visited the monastery during Napoleon's campaign from 1798 to 99, but states the facility had been ransacked and burned down by the Mamluks only a few days before his arrival. Oh, okay. Currently, the monastery is apparently occupied by only a few monks, but the church still serves Coptic communities of the surrounding villages, as well as the pilgrims who come here during big feasts of the liturgical year. Okay, so there actually isn't a lot of history about that. That's why. Okay. Interesting. I want to know who these people are. Ugh. Oh, no. Oh, there's nothing here but a door. Hello. Oh, look at these engravings, though. Ah, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Hello. This is not as informative as the other one. I'm a little sad about that. I wonder if that's because there's just like very little to no information about why it is. Honestly, yeah. Eva on the Twitch stream said, reasons for wanting a time machine, find out why/who put things here. Yeah, honestly, I would be that person who was just like, I just want to go back in time and fill in some holes in the history books. Oh, it's gorgeous. Through this beautiful monastery. Out of my lovely people who are currently watching, is there a new skill you have acquired or something you've been doing more of since quarantine started? Like, now that we're not as able to go see people. I have done a lot more baking. I've done a lot more painting. It's not quite ready, but I'm almost to a point where I can start showing off the kitchen. If you saw the video where I was showing the plans for that, that's almost done. I've reconsidered doing the back wall, but I have other plans for it. And we have a very small apartment, but it's very magical, and I'm very, very proud of what I've been doing with it, especially during this quarantine. So I'm very excited to eventually do a house tour when I'm ready for it. It'll be a very small tour because it's a small apartment. We are upper lower class. So that, and then also if you're on my Patreon, you know that I finished Changeling. And and just the other day I got an ice cream maker, so that's gonna be a thing. Cause now I can make ice cream that won't hurt my belly. Which also means I can make the cat ice cream, and yeah, I am that person. I regret nothing. So okay, so we've got Eclipsing has been reevaluating stories and characters and redesigned a character that they've owned for 7 to 6 years. Holy cow. Which has been crocheting and doing a lot more writing. And regularly, hey, I've gotten back on that wagon too. High five? High five. Wordslinger has plunged into brushing up on C# and finally started to work on a book. I am so excited for you! That he's been plotting out for a very, very long time. Wait. I don't want to say it. but is it the one I think it is? Is it the book that is somewhat, I won't say the actual name, but that is somewhat hey buddy, someone's going for my chicken, that is somewhat based on Don Quixote?
What? This is my water. It's not your water. It's my water. There you go.
Come here, sir. You're adorable. You will earn your keep by looking cute for the views.
You want to see something quick? How quickly he will turn?
Okay.
Or is he on camera?
Hang on. Calcifer is about to have his food opened. He has no idea.
Yep. Yep. Oh yes, you're so affectionate with your
I
paws.
love him so much. Okay. Heck yeah. High five and screens.
Oh, sorry. That's right. Sit.
Is anyone else having problems with my I'm not having any issues with my stream, Imp. At least not according to OBS. It's not telling me I missed anything. I'm sorry. In fact, it's claiming my stream quality is good. It might be because I'm doing 2 places, to be honest. It might be a little bit of that. Ooh, if it is honestly once, I don't think it likes that. And Twitch is being busy. I think I should go back to just one, which I realize means losing our lovely... I like having both. I like being able to talk to both of you. But I wonder if this is causing problems. It's because of... I think it's because I'm streaming to both at the same time. I think it's a problem with OBS. Let me look at... this bad boy. Thankfully, we're only at 47. We're at 47, but it's degrees Celsius. Could be worse. I guess we are going longer than I initially planned, because this was going to be just a calm chat. And then I started having a lot of fun exploring places with you. That makes me sad. It doesn't like doing both. It's like a lot of people are streaming on this particular server I'm connected to. Eee, more knitting. Sophia's been doing some knitting. You can hear it. My YouTube, I will this. Maybe if we do another chat one, since it did seem to cause some problems. So I'm going to end this stream with Snuggles. It is technically our date night, though we're gonna probably properly celebrate it on I'm sorry the buffering got all weird. But thank you for joining me. This has been, and to those of you who are able to hi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I hear the
you internets.
That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me.
Thank you internets.
He's like, I put up with too
Thank
much.
you.
Yes.